We're back. This is the last page of Unit 7, Section 1. So this is page 6. So we're simplifying the expressions. Don't get too hung up on this part because it kind of makes sense as you're working on it. So if the exponent and the index are odd, then they simply simplify and then you just get that answer right there. But then when it's even, they simply simplify, but then you only have the positive value of that one radicand under the radical. Okay? And it makes more sense as you're simplifying, so don't get too hung up on this and try to make sense. It kind of, don't worry too much about that. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so here we have cube root of 27 q to the 9th power. What I did here, I simplified them in two separate steps. One, I simplified the cube root of 27, and then I simplified the cube root of q to the 9th power. I know cube root of 27 is 3 because 3 times 3 is 9 times 3 is 27. And when the exponent, I'm going to write it out. And when the exponent and the index simplify, are the same, they simplify down to 3. Okay? All right, and then here, all I had to do was to divide the exponent divided by the index. That's how I got q to the 3rd power. Easy right there. And this is the shortcut. Here, what I did, I split that up in 2. So I'm simplifying that in 2 separate ways. One, I'm simplifying this separate from this because the bases are different. So I cannot just subtract 10 from 5 from 10. I would if the bases were the same, but in this case, they're not. That's why I split that up into radicals, okay? And then we do 10 divided by 5. I got 2, 5, and 5 right there. When they're the same, they simplify down to just y. So x squared over y, just that simple. Now, the next one, you have a little more work to do, but it's okay. The easy part is when we have just 6 divided by 3 is just 2, okay? And now I'm going to deal with the x and the y separately like I did here. So because I'm dividing, I will go ahead and subtract the exponents. So 1 minus 1/2 is 1/2, and 3/4 minus 1/2 is 1/4. Okay, now I just need to remember that they're positive, so they're all both in the numerator. You can go here, or you can just change that from the rational exponent to the radical. But it doesn't say anything that we need to change from one form to the other. But in this case, both answers are correct. The next one, I simplified this. Square root of 9 is just 3. Square root of w to the 5th power, I had to simplify that. And then the other one I had to simplify it separately was the square root of w cubed. I simplified that, and then this belongs together, and then this w is this w right here. Oop. This w is this w. And then this w is this w. Okay, I'm just putting them together. So now that makes that w squared, and then square root of w. Now that the radicals are the same, and the leading here, I just can put them together. 3 minus 1 is 2. W squared, square root of w. Okay, so again, let's break it up in a whole bunch of parts. 4th root of 16 is 2, because 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. So 2 to the 4th power is 16, therefore 4th root of 16 is 2. Here I divided 10 by 4, but I didn't get a whole number. That's why I got the remainder there as x squared. Same thing here. And this guy I pull them. Where is this one from? It's from the end. So these three are from over here. So when you put them together, this 2 came from over here. This x squared, fourth root of x squared is this one. Plus this 2w is this one. This x is this x, fourth root of x squared. Now when I put them together, I can simplify fourth root of x squared. That's what I did here. But why is this true? Well, I can go from the radical to the rational exponent. Remember, the exponent is the numerator, the index is the denominator. And then when you simplify that fraction, that makes that 1 over 2. And then I can switch back to the radical form, where 1 is the exponent, invisible 1 right there, and 2 is the index. And because the default is 2, I don't have to write it. That's the whole thought process, how you simplify this one down to this guy right here. So, and then this answer right here is not wrong, but it's not fully simplified. This answer right here is fully simplified. Okay, when you go the extra step to simplify that fourth root of x squared. And then the last example in this page, I'm multiplying, so I add the exponents. That's what I did here. Here I took the fourth root of 16 and I got 2. And then I separated fourth root of p cubed. Notice how they gave me in 2 different forms. That's why here I just changed it back to the rational exponent form, because I can go back and forth between the 2 forms, but there's nothing I can do if they're different. I can make them the same. That's what I had to do here. So from here, that's the result from this one. And here 2 p to the power of 3/4, that's the result of this one. So now that they're in the same form, I can put them together. So switch that back to the radical. So either answer will be appropriate in terms of the radical or in terms of the rational exponent. Either way, your answer is acceptable, this form or this form. I tried to keep the same format that we were given, but in this case, they were mixed. So there's not one or the other that would be better. They both mean the same thing.